Two parents angry after their 4-year-old told them something they didn't expect. Tied up with tape for not falling asleep at nap time.
The daycare has since been sold, but it's how they were allowed to accrue so many violations that got these parents worried for others. Wave News troubleshooter Natalia Martinez joins us now with her latest investigation and the warning from these parents.
Especially after the COVID pandemic. In fact, it was those restrictions that didn't allow for them to look around for the day in the daycare for themselves. But the video you're about to see, they say, speaks volumes.
She's adorable, she's sweet, she's kind.
She grabbed me wrapped around her finger.
The Colvins thought their daughter, who had just turned 4, would adjust but be all right going to daycare. They found a place, formerly known as Outer Loop Childcare. One day, in April of 2021, their bubbly 4-year-old seemed a little off.
She said, "Mommy, Miss Miah taped me up today." And I looked at her and was like, "Wait, what?" And she goes, "No, she taped me up." And did tape around her arms.
This is what the surveillance video showed. The person tasked with caring for their little girl on a table, missing a shoe, and exactly what their daughter had described. The employee, Miah Douglas, binding the girl's hands with tape during nap time. Left that way for more than 40 minutes, according to their lawyer.
That was my child, and I was not there to protect her.
It's a heartbreak. It changed her personality.
Douglas was fired immediately, but this was only the start of what the Colvins would find out about the employee. Previous arrests for possession of marijuana, which were either amended down or dismissed. The same with not one, but 4 separate citations for not having registration or a valid license plate. Then there was also a prostitution charge. Also let go by the judge after she agreed to no longer post on Backpage.com, according to court records. The Colvins are still waiting to find out what qualifications she had to work with children.
Here, I would not have hired that woman.
It's unclear if Outer Loop Childcare, which has since sold, ever did a background search on Douglas. What is clear is that the daycare had a history of not doing so, according to the Kentucky Cabinet of Health and Family Services. We found 3 other times where state inspectors wrote them up for it. Their records also lacked the state-required training or evaluations, and 4 repeated violations for no proof of tuberculosis vaccines.
We're putting them somewhere that's a professional establishment, and they failed us.
Other violations were repeated, like bleach accessible to children, conditions including dirty toys, holes in the wall where slugs and birds had made a home, and there were multiple mentions of unsanitary, ripped diaper changing stations. Keeping an eye for themselves was something they couldn't do come March 2020.
We weren't allowed in anymore because of COVID. We had to stop at the door.
We found more than 50 violations in less than 10 years. But despite the seemingly thorough inspections, the state kept renewing their license. Online, there's no mention of fines, suspensions, or revocations. That's after state records show violations for a child's shoulder dislocated by an employee, another child rug burned from being dragged on the carpet, a child's head slammed into a cot, and another student being locked in the bathroom for 7 minutes as punishment, all under the same owner who terminated those employees each time.
Did anybody's parents know about these violations at all? Because did they report them to the parents, or did they just write them up and stick them in a drawer?
The violations continued until Outer Loop Childcare was sold. Its most recent state rating, 3 out of 5 stars. As for the Colvins, they're hoping the pandemic and what they see as a lack of accountability doesn't put more children at risk.
And if you don't adhere to that standard, you don't have a license to offer child care. It's simple as that.
You have our most important asset, our child. You need to do better.
Douglas was arrested and found guilty for taping the child's hands together. Again, it was amended down to a misdemeanor. Outer Loop Childcare sold to a new company. They told me they have nothing to do with the center's past. We have a link to the state's inspection portal on wave3.com. Natalia Martinez, Wave News.